So, hello and welcome. So glad you could be here. A couple of new faces. So, if it's your first time to the studio or you're still relatively new to the studio, welcome. And my name is Jeanne. I will be leading you in your YIN practice. So, if everyone would be kind enough to come up to a comfortable seat. I got the moons from a Star Wars movie going on here, the dual moons of Patabi or something. But anyway, so we're going to start with our breath, just to ground ourselves and take a moment to connect. So I always like to just start by feeling my sit bones, make a nice connection to the earth, feel yourself rooting down, making that connection to something bigger and deeper. And then we're going to take a couple of nice big full breaths using our arms. So on an inhale, we're going to slowly lift up on a count of 5. At the top of the breath, we're going to pause. Our fingertips will touch palms down. And then we'll exhale and press that energy down into our body, just as slowly as the inhale. At the bottom of the breath, we're going to stack the palms, one on top of each other. We'll take a nice full breath in and let it go. Second one, nice, big, slow inhalation. Really spread the arms, feel the energy gathering in between. Pausing at the top and exhaling, pressing it down. Nice and slow. At the bottom of the breath, we'll stack the palms, big, full inhale. Complete exhale. Last one, biggest, fullest breath. And pause and exhale. And as we pull and push that chi down into our bodies, feel the breath exiting on the exhale. Press it all the way out. Palms will stack again. Nice full breath in. And big release. Let it go. Great. Let's lay down on our backs in pinnacle pose. So your feet will be as wide as your mat, open wide like a V, and your arms will be over your head on the mat, also open like a V. Just take a nice big inhale, another big audible exhale, sigh it out. And as you feel the earth beneath you, feel its stability, its groundedness. As you scan your body, notice all the points of connection between you and the earth. And then let your attention drift to the breath. Welcome it into your practice. Our breath is going to be our guide for the next 75 minutes. Guide us into the poses, through the poses, and back out again. Notice any areas of tension or tightness, where the energy may feel sluggish or stuck. And allow the breath to go to those areas. finding release and comfort. And then go ahead and close your legs together, hug your knees into your chest, rocking or little circles on the base of the spine. And then bringing the legs together, go ahead and extend the left leg long and lift the right leg up to the sky. Clasp your legs below the knee around the thigh and gently flex both feet and press into your hands. So you're trying to take your leg forward and just breathe into that resistance. And then release that, bend the knee, and gently take the leg across your body to the left. You can extend both arms out wide like a T or cactus your arms. We're just sensing the body and the breath as we warm up. Taking a little inventory. Releasing the top leg, place the left foot flat, knee bent. Keep that foot over the thigh. And then gently thread your hands now behind that left leg, gently pulling it in towards the body. Breathing into that hip flexor. And then go ahead and release that. Extend both of your feet nice and long, arms over your head. Big stretch, fingers to toes, full breath in. And then exhale, hug the knees back into the chest. And this time you can take some wide circles, let the knees fall out, and then bring them back to the center. Couple in one direction, and then you can reverse directions. And then hugging that left knee in, extend that right leg long now. Extend the left leg up to the sky. Again, threading the hand below the knee, around the thigh, and gently press into the hands. And then releasing the hands, bending the knee, cross body for the twist over to the right. Arms reaching. And then as we bring that left knee back to the center, keep it bent, bend the right knee, reclining figure four, and then thread your hands behind that right leg. then go ahead and release that. Extend the arms and legs. Again, big, big, big stretch. And exhale, hug the knees back into the chest, and then rock over to your left side into a fetal position. Just pause there on your side. You can use your upper arm or a blanket to support your head. Just take a moment to connect. Our YIN practice is a very contemplative internal practice where we ask ourselves to remain present in these poses for a reasonably long period of time. So we want to create a sense of security, connection, trust to guide us through the practice, to guide us into the body and into the breath. Then go ahead and gently use the strength of your arms to press yourself into a comfortable seat. So we're just going to first bend that left arm and place the right hand in that crook of the elbow. Just a couple more little stretches. The summer sequence, I theme my class towards traditional Chinese medicine, so we are obviously in the summer focused on the element of fire, and the heart and the small intestine are the meridians. And then go ahead and release that. Take that right hand, bending at the elbow, kind of walking it down in between your shoulder blades. A lot of these meridian channels are really focused in our upper body, our torso, arms, neck, and face. And then as we release that, we'll bend, keep that arm bent, and then hook the left arm inside. Just breathe into that shoulder area. Releasing that, bending at that left elbow, walking it down in between our shoulder blades. And then we'll release that. Just shake out your arms. So our first pose today is going to be caterpillar, which is a forward fold. So our legs are nice and floppy in our YIN practice. You have the option of using a bolster to support yourself. If you've got tight hamstrings, you can place a rolled blanket or blocks underneath your thighs. And then if you choose to use a bolster, you can have it to support yourself this way. You can have it long ways, sideways, and if you've got any spinal or disc issues, you can stand it up to support your head like this. And you can also choose not to use it at all. So we want to be really floppy because we're trying to access the muscle, the connective tissue, not the muscle. So we want to release all the muscle tissue in our body. We'll take a nice full breath in, and on our exhale, we're going to tuck our chin, round the shoulders, and begin that gentle descent. allowing just the weight of gravity to guide us down into this fold, keeping everything soft. And you'll start to notice that the sensation's gonna intensify to the point where it's going to start to catch your attention, become mildly uncomfortable. And that's where we're going to hang out. So the head is heavy, the spine is rounded, the shoulders are sinking. And now we just focus on the breath. Noticing the sensation. The fascia and connective tissue that we're working doesn't have a lot of elasticity. So you'll feel a pull. Not as much as a stretch. Just allowing gravity to be the guide. Allow the breath to sustain you. As your body starts to adjust to the shape, you may notice a little give. Maybe the edge, that boundary starts to move, creating a little more space. And should that happen, go ahead and move with it ever so mindfully and intentionally. Our goal is not to go past that edge. We don't want to experience sharp pain or tingling or heat. Just that mild discomfort.
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate.
Summer season is all about growth. It's the most yang time of the year. Traditional Chinese medicine and Taoism encourages us to follow the natural ebb and flow of nature. That 5-element theory, as we journey around the sun, we follow the seasons. Summer is all about growth, exploding into the realization of our potential, manifestation.
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate.
One more nice full breath in. Audible exhale, let it go. And as we come up out of the pose, we're going to exit as slowly as we entered, walking our hands back towards our body as we start to unwind and straighten the spine. Chin, neck, and head are the last things to come up. Beautiful. Now we're going to go onto our knees into puppy pose. You're welcome to put a blanket underneath your knees if you'd like. So in puppy pose, we're going to keep our hips high above our knees, and we're going to walk our hands forward, allowing our chest to sink towards the earth, forehead onto the earth. Now, if that takes you past your edge, you can always put a block underneath your forehead to support you a little bit more. So your forearms can be on the ground. So in Yin, we actually call this pose melting heart. Stretching the front of the shoulders. And really whole shoulder girdle. Sinking and surrendering the heart. So this summer season, the element of fire, and while we've had, relatively speaking, a mild summer from a Phoenix perspective, we know all about the heat. We feel the resistance of the heat. May even make us a little irritable. We tend to shed the layers, right? The excess, that clothing that we don't need. So that's part of that element of fire, creating that warmth, that heat, and then burning away the excess. Letting go of what's not needed so that we can sustain and put all of our energy and focus on the growth. We know growth can be awkward, difficult, challenging, often involving trial and error, failure. It's easy to let the ego, the mind, to persuade us to protect ourselves. As you explore these poses, I encourage you to explore the patterns and responses as you meet the resistance, gaining confidence, establishing a new pattern, that knowledge, strength, and courage that you can do awkward and hard things. And the more we reinforce those patterns here on our mat, the easier it is for us to apply them in the rest of our life. Take one more nice full breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then coming up high enough to shift forward, we're going to straighten our legs coming on to our forearms into Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx pose, our elbows are generally, our elbows are generally in front of our shoulders. Our arms are roughly parallel with one another, about the width of our shoulders. Now, if you find that this puts too much pressure on your spine, takes you past your edge, you can always walk your elbows away from the body. You'll see the curvature of your spine comes down, or take your elbows wide and you'll come way down. So experiment, be curious as you explore the pose, where is that edge? How do I simultaneously challenge myself and honor myself? The challenge is the sensation. The honoring is the compassion of staying within the edge, at the edge. Use the breath to create both a steadiness and the ease, inspiring us on the inhale, releasing the excess on the exhale. Using the breath to explore the body from the inside out. Noticing small nuances. Learning to differentiate between the chatter of the mind and the wisdom of the body. Now from here, you can stay right where you are. If you have space and you'd like to go a little deeper, you can move into seal pose by straightening your arms and then slightly externally rotating your hands at about a 45-degree angle. Just make sure you keep some softness through the elbows and the shoulders. We don't want to lock out the joints and activate the muscles. We want to continue to ride that fascia and connective tissue, deep dark tissue in the body. So we use the breath to quiet the mind, the noise, the drama, but also to steady it. So it can become an ally. If you're in seal pose, we'll all come back down to Sphinx for a few more breaths. And then go ahead and take your elbows as wide as your mat. Stack your hands one on top of each other in a lower your forehead to the back of your hands. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. Allowing the body and the spine to come back into a neutral position. From this place of stillness, tap into that movement, that vibration of energy moving within your body freely. As we clear the pathways and channels. Nice full breath in, audible exhale, let it go. And then slide your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to press ourselves up to a tabletop position. We'll just enjoy a few minutes of free sensual movement, maybe some cat-cows, inhaling and lifting the chin as the belly falls. Slowly exhaling as we tuck our chin towards the chest, belly to the sky. Linking your breath with the movement, nice, slow, full inhalations and exhalations. Close your eyes, go inside. Just feel. And then incorporate any other additional movement that feels right for you. Moving the head, the hips, shifting forward and back, or maybe it's stillness that you need. And as you feel your spine's been released, we're going to go into a child's pose. So again, if you'd like to put a blanket underneath your knees, feel free to do so. And we're going to go ahead and take this as a wide leg child's pose, toes touching, knees open comfortably for you. And as you walk your hands forward, you can always put a block underneath your forehead like we did earlier in Melting Heart. And then we're going to bring the palms of our hands together as we bend our elbows, placing our hands behind our head. So the hips are heavy, sinking towards your heels. You can always put a rolled blanket behind your knees if that's going to give you a little more comfort, so that you can release the hamstrings a little more, the hips a little more. Allowing gravity to guide you deeper into the pose. Sinking deeper and deeper with each exhaling breath. Let the breath be long and slow. need to balance some of that fire, that heat of the summer with cooling postures. This is one of them. But the child's pose is also excellent for our digestion. And as we mentioned, the heart is the yin meridian for the summer season, full of passion, growth, joy. And then the small intestine, it's its yang counterpart. It helps keep the heart in check, helps us digest our food, our emotions, our experiences, our thoughts. We talk about our intuition, trusting that inner knowing. We often feel it in our gut, right? It's the small intestine helping us to figure it all out. We want to listen to those bodily sensations. They are rarely wrong. The mind, not so much. But the body knows. That we turn our focus inward, when we find stillness within, we can tap into that connection, that knowing. Again, learning to create a sense of trust and guidance so that when we hear it call when we're off the mat, we can heed its knowledge and wisdom. Take another nice full breath in. Audible sigh, let it go. Release your hands back to the earth. And actually, let's just take our hands back to our heels for the moment. You may need to walk your knees in a little so that you can really drop your shoulders. Feel the compactness, the compression of the body, squeezing the organs. And then take your hands forward. We'll press ourselves up for a moment. Remove the blanket if you have one under your knees. And then we're going to walk back out onto our belly. And we're going to begin by scooching, bless you, scooching over to the right side of your mat. We're going to do broken arrow. So we're going to take your hands out wide like a T, and then we're going to take the right hand underneath your shoulder. So the left hand is wide, the right arm is bent with the hand under your shoulder. And we're going to slowly turn to the left, taking that right leg, the top leg, maybe behind, bent and behind the bottom leg. And then you're going to kind of scoot your hips a little bit more to the right as you press into that left shoulder. Making the adjustments that you need for your body to make this pose work for you. It can be pretty intense on the shoulder girdle. Another option, which may or may not be more comfortable, depending on how your arm and shoulder is connecting, would be to cactus that left arm. But you can play with that. You may have to kind of adjust your body to do that. Some people can find more spaciousness there, some find less. Trust the breath to help loosen, unwind, untangle any stuck energy so it can continue its path, its journey. Start to notice our patterns, how we show up, not just on our mat, but in our lives. We have certain little patterns, samskaras, they call them in Sanskrit. They become little grooves. They're not necessarily good or bad, but just those behaviors that we tend to reinforce over the course of our lives that become a part of who we are, our default response. Sometimes we find that some of those patterns no longer serve us. In order to continue to grow, we have to let go and release and change or alter some of those ways of being that can be challenging and difficult. So just give that some thought. Notice, observe. Take one more nice full breath in. Audible exhale, let it go. And ever so slowly we're going to start turning back onto our bellies. And then bring both hands down by your side, and you can turn your head to the right, resting on your left ear. And again, just feel the body coming back into a neutral position, letting go a little more with each exhaling breath. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and do the other side. So then we're going to have to scooch over to the left side of your mat. First taking your hands out wide like a T, and then we're going to bend that left hand underneath the shoulder, and then slowly start to turn the body to the right, maybe shifting the hips a little bit more to the left, maybe stepping that top foot, that right leg behind the left, and breathing into that right shoulder. Noticing where you feel the sensation or how you feel the sensation in your body. Could be the physical sensation in the shoulder, potentially a little mental annoyance, or maybe an emotional response. No right or wrong, it's just again an opportunity to tune in, to observe, practice letting go, practice non-attachment, giving yourself permission just to be. If you find the mind starts to wander, simply direct yourself back to the breath, following and tracing the inhale as it enters the nose and fills the body, and then watching it as it exits through the nose, completing the cycle. Three more breaths. Let's take one big inhale together as a group. Full audible sigh. Let it all go. And then slowly returning back to the belly, turning back to the left, bringing both hands by your side and turning to the left on the right ear. Bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders. We'll just press ourselves back briefly into a child's pose again, bringing the hands back to the feet, shoulders round. Taking a few extra moments just to release. We hold a lot of tension and energy in our shoulders. That sensation sometimes where we feel that we are carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. So allowing that feeling just to drip off the body. Bringing your hands back forward, pressing ourselves up. We're going to come onto a seat. And so we're going to go into dragonfly, which is a wide leg forward fold. I always like to sit on a blanket. If you want more height, you can sit on a block or a couple of blankets. And just like we did at the beginning of class with caterpillar, you're welcome to put blocks or blankets underneath your thighs, and then you're welcome to use the bolster as we did at the beginning of class as well, in any configuration that works for you. And likewise, we want to still be soft and rounded, so floppy feet, we don't want to flex and engage. Taking a nice full breath in, then we're going to tuck the chin. Again, round the shoulders as we release the spine, allowing our head to be heavy like a bowling ball. Taking us down towards that edge, towards the sensation. We don't have anything to fear or resist. We have the knowledge and the courage and the strength to know that we can use the breath to sustain us. learning to hold on loosely. Releasing our grip so that we can support new opportunities, changes, ways of being. Letting go doesn't mean we forget, nor does it mean that we can't do it again. But sometimes we just have to loosen the grip. Something that's good for the possibility that there's something greater. No absolutes. Trusting that inner voice. Forward folds are calming to the nervous system, shifting out of the fight or flight and into rest and restore. Take one more nice full breath in. Audible exhale. Once again, slowly, mindfully walking out of the pose, unwinding the spine. And then we can bend our knees, feet flat about hip distance, maybe some windshield wipers. We're going to do one last pose. We're going to do reclined butterfly. So if you want to shake your legs, you can too. So we're going to use our bolster and our blocks. So taking the knees are going to be feet together, knees open wide. Soles of the feet together, knees open wide. And then you can put the blocks any height, right? There's 3 heights. And you can give yourself as much or as little support as you want, but I do encourage you to use them even if you're really bendy, because we really want to get out of that muscle tissue. And then we're going to lay back so that our entire thoracic, upper, neck, and head is supported, so just the small of your back is falling off in that. And then you can take your right hand to your belly. And your left hand to your heart, sorry. I didn't finish that statement. So making a nice circuit, closed circuit through the body, the heart, and the small intestine. So feel the openness that the summer season represents, the freedom, the growth, the willingness to try new things, to explore and expand. And at the same time, honor the stillness, the balance. Let's take one more nice full breath in and let it go. We're going to be moving now into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So you can gently bring your knees together. Roll over on your side and remove the bolster. If you're really comfortable in this position, you want to take your Shavasana in it, you can. If you'd like to put the bolster under your knees, a blanket over your body, I encourage you to let your arms come down comfortably by your side, palms up. Body can be at rest. As we welcome this final integration and enter this effortless state of being, Let's join our breath one more time with a nice full inhale, audible sigh. Surrender. Shavasana. the vibration continues to wash over and through you, start to come back into the body, deepening the breath. Little movements to the fingers and toes, taking your time. Maybe turning the head side to side. When you feel ready, go ahead and give yourself a big, luxurious stretch, fingertips to toe tips. Big breath in, audible release. And then gently pull your knees in towards your chest. And then rock over to the left side. Side of the evening, the side of the moon. As the day draws to the end, we welcome the stillness. And using the strength of your arms, press yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Bringing your hands together at heart center. Let us bow with gratitude, with reverence and humility for the practice that we received, for the energy that we shared. We'll close our practice by joining our voices in the sound of Om. We'll take a full breath in and exhale. Inhale to receive the breath. Om Shanti. From my heart to yours, Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Have an awesome rest of your evening and a great week ahead. I will be here Tuesday for Isabel, and